This video will discuss the field naming and field boundary creation capabilities in AgLeader's Agfiniti platform. This is an online platform that is created as an adjunct to both their equipment and their SMS software. Anyone can create an account, and once you have that, you will log into it. And if you go to the right-hand drop-down menu, you can go to the licenses, and you will see a Start Free Essentials trial license. For the full capability, you do need to have a subscription-based license. It's a small fee that unlocks the full capabilities, like many platforms. Once you have created that licensing option, from the top left menu, you will see a drop-down that shows maps, files, and ways to manage your data. We will start first by going to the Manage Data, because we do have to edit the management to create our first grower. We're going to add a grower with this plus sign. And there's a little check mark when we're satisfied with our addition. If we go back and choose farms, we can then add a farm and call it and you'll notice that because farms are attached to growers, we need to drop down and choose the grower that that farm name is attached to. Use the check mark to save it and return to the list. Let's add a field. And the field name, as always, because data is stored at the field and the fields are listed alphabetically, it's always a great idea to put some initials or something that signifies the grower, and then the farm and field. Adding a road reference is always helpful as well. We then have to, of course, choose which grower does this belong to and which farm does this belong to. And when we're satisfied, we select the check mark, and we've added our first grower. You will notice the field name has a little symbol beside it that shows that there is no boundary yet, but we will use the program to create that. Since we have created our first grower, farm, and field name, we can return to that Maps drop-down, and this time we'll select the maps. On the top left-hand side, we will notice that our first field is listed, and we could select Add Field again from this menu and add our second, third, and onward for other field names. If we are ready to create an actual boundary map to associate with this field, we highlight that field and we go to the next menu, which is a little wrench or tool menu. And once we have at least one field name, the boundary manager becomes available to us. Once we are in Boundary Manager, you will notice a series of icons above the map window, which are our drawing tools. And before we begin, we're going to have to zoom into an area of interest. And you can use your zoom tools, your roller ball on your mouse. As with all mapping programs, it's easier to draw with a mouse than it is with a keypad or your finger on an app. Since you are in editing mode, there's a little point or dot that we start with. We use our left mouse clicking and click with the left mouse as we go around. If we make a mistake and it all of a sudden stops drawing, we can easily use the undo tool to take us back to the beginning. We then ask it again to add a polygon. The little polka dot will up, and at that point we can begin again to make our initial sketch. To go around corners, we put points a little closer together as we go around curves, and As with all mapping programs, once we have our initial sketch, we can zoom in, take any of these points that we've made, and move them into a new position. To pull it into position, simply snag a point. You'll notice it highlights in blue, and we can pull it over into a better location. When we're satisfied with our drawing, we right-click to finish, and you'll see that the polygon is filled in. If we have an area that needs to be excluded, there is a tool up on the toolbar called Remove Polygon, and that would allow us to draw an area around trees or a pond or any other exclusion to the cropped acres. Again, left click to draw your points, right click to stop drawing, and you are finished. When you're happy with your drawing, you simply save, and that field region will be saved to the field that you had selected. From this same map area, we can drop down our fields list, add a new field, brings up our management. We can add our second field. Selecting the grower name and the farm name to which it belongs. Check mark to save. We'll now see that we have another field highlighted in our list, and we're in editing mode. We can begin drawing it. Save. And that is how we grow our farm list. Once we have our farms drawn, we have the ability to not only save them within this program, we can also export them to other programs. Returning to our Manage Data window, you will notice that the two fields we have created are listed here. We can select one or more of them, and we can export. The export accounts for two different operations. One, if we were linked to our Ag Leader equipment, we could send these boundaries out to the machine so that the operator could select them from the list for all operations. If we are not talking to our own equipment, Ag Leader equipment, we can go to Selected Layers, and we can export to a shapefile. A shapefile is a universally used format. Once we select the check mark, that particular file, it says your data will appear in your My Files page. That's under this menu here. Under Manage Data, you'll see under Files, My Files. And there's a number of shapefiles that I have created from my Agfiniti. If I choose one or more of those zipped shapefile sets, I can download them onto my desktop. I can email them. I could share them with another Agfiniti user, or of course delete them. So that's how we can communicate with our Agfiniti with other users, service providers, or stakeholders. As with all software programs and platforms, there is always a help button that you can find out more information about this software and all of the capabilities that it might give you.